YouTube? It's your boy Ziggy Doom, man. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Mother's Day? Yes, today is Mother's Day 2025, and I would like to give a shout out to all the mothers. You guys go through a lot, man, when it comes to raising children. I mean, the big one, obviously, you guys carry them around for up to 9 months, sometimes longer, and go through those labor pains and Braxton Hickses and all types of stuff that I would never, ever want to go through. I couldn't even imagine if I had to go through that. And then, you bring them into this world, you create life, and you do a lot for your kids. Sometimes, even as, mothers, mothers don't always get it right. And, but that's, it's all about learning and developing and trying to do better. So, and my mother passed away well over 30 years ago, and I still think about her every Mother's Day, give shout outs to her in my head, happy Mother's Day. And it's y'all day, obviously Mother's Day is one of the most celebrated holidays in the year, for a good reason. Like I say, mothers do a lot, and fathers, we contribute, to raising our kids like mothers, but that nurturing of a mother hits a little differently than from a father. So shout out to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day. Hopefully you guys enjoy it and continue to be great and do great things. Where have I been, y'all? I haven't posted videos on none of my social media in a while. So for me, life happens, right? And as a content creator, I'm kind of obligated to give you guys content, which I don't mind doing. It's not a big deal. It's never been a chore for me to upload content for you guys to watch and enjoy. But, sometimes things happen in real life, and I have to separate the two. So I don't want to try to focus on real life stuff and then cheat my content, on my social media. So whenever real life things happen, sometimes I take a step back and I try to focus completely on what's going on in real life and keep all other things kind of, secondary. So unfortunately, sometimes my social media platforms do suffer when it comes to me giving you guys content, and I'll apologize for that. But some content creators, they would rather cheat real life for their content, but I can't do that. Like, I can't make content for you guys, and I know that something's going on in real life that I should be giving most, if not all, of my attention to. That doesn't sit well with me. Other people may be able to do it, but for me, it's not something that I'm okay with. So I just kind of like step back from my social media, and I do this a lot. Unfortunately, I have to step away from my content and focus on what's going on in real life. And it's nothing that I'm complaining about. It's nothing that, is like a burden. When we make choices in life, we have to deal with those choices. We have to deal with the good and the bad. That's part of like maturing and holding yourself accountable. So that just happens a lot with me. And unfortunately, my content that I create does take steps back. But anyway, we as always, we're going to keep the ball rolling, keep it moving forward, and get into some topics. Now, I'm a little bit behind on the topics for my content, but you best believe I've been following them in real life. So without further ado, let's get into this one. This one right here. I want to get it out the way real quick. The 100 men versus gorilla. You can do the science, you can do the math, you can do the hocus pocus, you can do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. But I don't know why people think 100 men can't kill a gorilla. I get it. They got thick skin and large teeth and blah, 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 blah. But one thing they do have is soft spots. And most notably, they got two of them, their eyes. So how is it 100 men? Obviously, somebody gonna die, right? The first 10, 20, 25, they gone, right? So that's fine. All you got to do is get to them eyes. Poke them eyes out. You don't need a weapon. You got teeth. We got teeth, right? We got hands, nails. You poke them eyes out. Boom, boom. You poke both of those eyes out. And then you just wait. Everybody just step back. Just step back. and let that gorilla lose his mind, because he won't be able to see. Let him lose his mind, swinging erratically, wild, and eventually, I don't know, maybe the pain will get to him, maybe that'll subside, but eventually, once he can't see and he's in pain, then the next thing you do is wail at him, back and forth, left and right, without him being able to attack. Because you can see and he can't. And yeah, they got a good sense of smell. I get that. But even still, without eyes, what you gonna do? You swinging crazy. And then here we go. Bam. You get 5 people on one arm. Bam. You get 5 people on the other arm. 5 people on one leg. 5 people on another leg. That's 20 people. So if we got, let's say 25 people gone. Now we got 20 people holding his body. That's 45. We got 55 more people that can deal with him. You get 1 or 2 people around his neck, right? And then everybody else just start gouging in them eyes, tearing up that face, attacking the soft spots. Eventually, it won't be pretty, but you can get deep enough in them eye sockets with your hands and nails and fingers to where it's gonna be excruciating. And if you do it good enough, you can immobilize that gorilla to the point where they don't want to do anything no more. And honestly, I mean, we just talking about which one will win. The gorilla can't see. How's it gonna eat? You starve him out. Starve him out. Everybody just sit there, somebody go to the stove. Out of the 55 people that's left, somebody go to the stove, grab some food, and y'all just bring it back. Y'all just sit there and watch him die. I mean, it's so crazy when people overthink this simple 100 men versus 1 gorilla thing. You always go for the soft spots. Now, if somebody tell me, well, their eyes are made of Kevlar and they can move lightning speed, yeah, whatever. You gouge them eyes out. You don't need no weapon. You got all the weapons you need. Obviously, somebody gonna take the fall. Now, that might be the problem. The first couple of people going up to that gorilla, because, they might be like, well, we gonna, I don't know. But if the gorilla attacks, then you have to act. Or what you gonna do? Just sit there and die? No, it's fight or flight. So you're gonna take some casualties, but somebody's gonna get that gorilla gone, right? Then you call the ambulance. Hey, we got some injuries. The ambulance come, healing injuries or whatever. Take the wounded off. But don't tell me 100 men can't kill a gorilla. Don't tell me that. I don't believe it. Like I said, I gave y'all a scenario. It's not irrational. It's not impossible. If 20 men can't hold 4 of a gorilla's appendages, then we might need another conversation. Maybe add 5 more. But I just find it incredibly difficult to believe that 100 men cannot kill a gorilla. I don't even know where this started. I think this started with the bear versus the man or something like that. I can't remember, but man, look, 100 men can kill 1 gorilla. I said what I said. I'm leaving it at that. Okay, let's get into Shannon Sharpe. So everybody already knows this has been going on for a little while. If y'all don't know, it's on the internet. Basically, Unc, who's I think 57 or 58 years old, was having a relationship with a 19-year-old at the time. She was 19 years old when they started their relationship. He met her at a gym. Y'all know Unc liked to work out. He met a little young lady at the gym, and it went from there. Now, when she met him in the gym, she didn't even know who he was, right? She had no idea who he was. It was just a black guy with muscles. And she's, a 19-year-old white woman. So once she found out who he was and how much he was worth, things got a little tricky from there. Somebody pretty much got in her ear and told her, like, this man is worth millions. You can get some money off this man. So, between recorded conversations and text messages, Shannon Sharpe's looking pretty suspect. Now, I'll say this. These are my opinions, right? Everyone has their opinions. I don't really know what a man that's almost 60 years old could possibly have in relationship or in common, with a woman that's 19. I mean, if it's just an intimate thing, I mean, still that's kind of strange, but it's not illegal, right? It's not illegal. It's not immoral. I think it's kind of weird because that age gap is very telling. Like, how are you in your 60s and you're not able to find a woman in her 50s, 40s, 30s? You got to go all the way to 19. That's a bit odd, but it's nothing immoral about it or whatever or wrong. It's just weird. It's a sign, I think. It usually when older men date younger women, it can be some bit of a controlling thing, right? A bit of a grooming thing because younger women don't really know as much. So you got to be careful when you date women that are younger. They can say whatever they want. I'm not young. I'm mature. I'm old for my age. But they don't have experience in life. At 19 years old, that girl has no experience in life. Definitely not with dating. She doesn't know about passive, aggressive control. And Shannon Sharpe comes off as a man that likes to dominate and control. I think he the type of dude that makes a woman get out the bed, go in the other room, fart, and then come back in the bed. I think he's that kind of guy. Like, if she farts in the bed, he'll get mad, So yeah, I think it was a little bit of grooming, a little bit of dominating, because a 19-year-old may be more physically appealing than a 55-year-old. Let's be honest, right? I'm an old fat guy, so I don't look as good as I did when I was younger. When I was younger, I was sexy. Okay, in my 20s, I was sexy. Now I'm old and fat, but it's okay because the thing about getting old is you value appearance less. It doesn't matter as much because everyone gets old and we all grow gray hairs and wrinkles on our face. So that could be an appeal. Like, he likes them young, but if it's just an intimate thing, okay, maybe be a little bit more discreet with it, right? This is a 19-year-old. You probably older than her father. So if you're going to do that, understand what comes with it. There's going to be all criticisms and critiques and all that. It's going to look weird. So if you're okay with that, then fine. But there's a reason Shannon Sharpe keeps his private life private. I think it's because he does a lot of things that the masses may not agree with. And image for him is paramount. Shannon Sharpe, his image is so important to him. He has to make sure he looks stellar, A1, top notch, ahead of the game, all that when he's in front of a camera, when he's in public. That's just how he is. And he has all these gems about his grandmother. My grandmother said this, don't eat where you poop and all that, yada, yada. But ironically, there was never no gems she gave him about being involved with a 19-year-old. And it's ugly. Now she wants money. And he's lost brands. He's lost sponsors, I don't think he's going to go broke. I don't think he's going to have to get his girl $50 million, But I do think it's going to be off-putting to women in the future because they know what kind of women he like. And I'm going to just say this. Y'all know it's black dudes out here that like white women and they shy away from black women. Wesley Snipes, he's like that. I think Shannon Sharpe is like that too. It's like maybe when he was younger, black women shunned him off or whatever, and he got rich and famous and got attention, and that might have shined the light of white women to him. But that is a thing. I don't think if that woman was 19 years old and she was black, I don't think Shannon Sharpe would have approached her in the gym. I just don't. If she was black, I don't think. And these are just my opinions, y'all. I don't. I think Shannon Sharpe is a stickler for those kind of women. And if you looked at it on this podcast, Monique, told him, like, leave these little young women alone and find your old unattractive woman to settle down with. Not necessarily unattractive, but we old, man. We gotta accept that beauty fades with time and age. But I think he's going to lose some money. He coming out of his pocket. He already coming out of his pocket because he lost sponsorships. But I think he'll be okay. I hope he learns from it. Do I think he's going to change? The type of women he like? Absolutely not. I think he's still gonna go for the young non-black women. But I think he'll try to be more discreet about it, right? Like he have them sign NDAs and take their phone and all this. But I mean, you gotta accept the consequences of your actions, even if it's a shakedown, because he said it was a shakedown by her lawyer. I mean, what can they shake down from you if you're completely innocent? Now I heard some of the audio, and bro was talking about choking her in public. Bro, you can't be choking no white women in public. You can't be saying that. A white woman in America, you a black man in America, you talking about choking her in public. You're done. I don't see nowhere in America somebody gonna hear that and be like, oh, they was just playing. They was a bit aggressive. Like, no. You right now, Shannon Sharpe is looking like that creepy uncle that sit at parks and look at the little young girls on the swings and on the little spin around things and all that. That's what he's looking like. And women are going to see that, and they're going to be like, you know what? You are an attractive man. You know, you got a nice body, you got money, you got a decent intellect, but you give off creepy vibes. So that's not that could be a turnoff to women. And I don't think he really cared, because he said in this podcast, all these old women mad at the young women because they getting the old men and yada yada. But I don't know. You you kind of did that one to yourself, bruh. But we'll see. So I had a question, man. I talk to people, believe it or not. There are people that I talk to, and you know, I be having good news, stuff that happens good, and I be wanting to share it with them. But I know what they're going through in real life also. I know that they're struggling in real life. Financially, mentally, physically. I know they're struggling. And as much as I want to, because they'll call, hey, what's up, Ziggy? How you doing? And I say the same thing, always good. I don't care what I'm going through. My answer's going to be always good. But if I have good news, I won't share it with them, because I don't know how me telling them good news makes them feel about what they're going through. Now, that's a question. Would you tell somebody your good news if you know they doing bad? Okay, they just lost their job and you just got a promotion. So would you, they call you, hey, how you doing? What's up? What's good? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm chilling. What's going on in your life? And they like, well, I just lost my job, man. And I got to go find somewhere else to work. I've been there for 10 years, yada, yada. But man, what's going on in your life? Do you tell them, well, yeah, I just got a promotion, and, is that, would you be comfortable saying that? I mean, they ask you, right? And you're telling them, the good, what's going on in your life, but would you feel comfortable saying that? I wouldn't. I don't share most of my good news. I do not share most of my good news with anyone, because when I talk to people, for the most part, some people are don't think everybody I talk to I think doing bad. No, but there are some people that I talk to that are doing bad. They don't have to say it. I know they're doing bad. I'm not gonna tell them my good news, even if they ask me, hey, what's the good news? I'm good. Everything good. Now, if they tell me good news, right? Like, yeah, man, I got this. My car was not working. I'm finna get a new car. It's gonna make life easier for me. I bought a house. I'm gonna be happy for them, and I'm still not gonna tell them any good news I have. I'm not, because I want that moment for them to be all about them. I don't want to take their good news and water it down, or try to match it with my good news. I know this is probably a bit much, but y'all, I'm strange. I think a little bit too much. If my relative was to call me and say, oh man, I'm about to get this house. I get the keys tomorrow. I can't wait. Everything's going good for me. And, I just bought a house a week ago. I'm finna buy a house next month, whatever. I'm not going to bring that up. For me, it's like, oh man, that's great, that's good. I'm happy for you, da 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 da. If you need tips, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not saying my good news. I'm not, So I always keep it. I'm always good. That's all you're gonna get out of me. But I just don't think it's okay to share my good news with somebody that I know is doing bad. And what I mean, doing bad and doing good is subjective, right? Somebody could be homeless with a sign up in front of Walmart, and you ask them how they doing, they're like, "Oh, I'm doing great. Life is good." They could be, that could be right, true for them. They could be cool with it. And then you can have someone with mansions and boats and private jets, and it's like, man, how you doing? Man, I'm doing bad, So it could be subjective, right? But I just go by on the surface and what I see and what I hear and what I can assess. If someone's doing bad, I'm not going to tell them anything about my good news because I don't think that will help them. I don't know how my good news can help them. I can give them tips on how they can be doing better, but me telling you, yeah, I can't pay my rent this month. Oh, well, shoot, I'm about to rent out this property. They pay me rent. How's that helping them? They're going to be like, really? It could come off as snooty, depending on how you word it. So I don't think you should tell people your good news when you know they doing bad. And for me, I'm not telling nobody my good news anyway. I just, hey, whatever, I'm good. Life is okay. I can pay my bills this month. I can put a little bit of food on the table. That's about all I can do. So, and that's good enough for me because I don't want to make anybody feel weird or bad or worse when they get off the phone with me. Y'all, the Met Gala. So I've heard of the Met Gala before a few times. Never really paid much attention to it, but somehow, I don't know how, I think I was scrolling social media. I saw these pictures of the Met Gala 2025, and I saw what these people was wearing. Now, I'm not a fashion guru, okay? I don't know nothing about fashion, so you can take my words with a grain of salt, okay? Look at what I'm wearing. This is about as far as fashion as I go. I don't know how much stuff costs. I don't know what is considered exquisite or that fabulous or man, they know how to dress. I don't know none of that. But what I do know is what I can see. My eye test, bruh. Some of these people had on some stuff. It was incredibly excessive, and I didn't look it up. I probably should have before I did this podcast. I don't know. Is the purpose of the Met Gala to look absolutely foolish or absolutely outrageous? Because that is all I saw. I saw, okay, Andre 3000, the rapper. Okay, now this was outrageous. I think it was kind of cool, but it was outrageous. He had a piano on his back. His outfit it included a piano on his back, but the message was, black people have been putting music on their back for years. The music culture on their back for years. So when I heard that and I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. It made sense. It was fitting for that, that outfit. And I don't know, maybe that's what the Met Gala is about. I'm gonna assume that's what it's about because the people at the Met Gala, y'all, they dress like crazy. I mean, there are women that go to the Met Gala with nothing on. Nothing. Halle Berry had a dress on with nothing underneath it. There were lines on the dress that covered up like right here, and it covered up, her crotch area. Lines, but bruh, you could look from the side, and you could see, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could see some stuff, and I'm like, I don't get that. Maybe that's something about freedom or liberating or free speech or I don't know, but nothing. And I mean, some people, okay, first of all, there was nobody there that was wearing something that I would ever picture myself wearing, ever. There was not even the people shooting the cameras. Ain't nobody at the Met Gala, dude was wearing something I'd be like, oh, I could see me wearing something like that. No. But I think that's the idea. So I don't want to bash it and say, what's wrong with these Met Gala people? I think it's more an event that you go to, and that's the whole point. Like, man, you wearing something that's so dazzling or mesmerizing or whatever, and everybody like, wow, you know fashion. But I don't know. If I went to the Met Gala, bruh, I'm in sweatpants and a shirt. And maybe they'll be like, wow, that's awesome and amazing too. What is your message? Like, look, I like to be comfortable when I dress. I ain't trying to wear no name brand or silk or ostrich leather. Man, look, give me a Walmart shirt and some sweatpants. I'm good. So that Met Gala thing was definitely one that kind of threw me. But I mean, at the end of the day, you can wear what you want to wear. Man, doesn't matter. We got a new pope, y'all. And guess where he from? Yeah, Chicago. The new pope, man, from Chicago. My daughter's mother, she's a Catholic, and she was hoping that they picked the pope that was from the Philippines, because she's from the Philippines. And she told me that there was a pope from Chicago. I didn't look too much into it, but I'm like, well, obviously I'm gonna root for the pope from Chicago, and obviously she gonna root for the pope from the Philippines. And they picked the pope from Chicago. So I got some pictures and stuff about it. I told some of my friends. I think that's cool, man. We got a pope from the city. Legend has it that he was a vice lord before he became pope. No, I just made that up, man. But so yeah, y'all. I'm dealing with some stuff, right now, and I don't wear it on my sleeve. I don't ask for help. I don't ask for pity. I don't ask for, a shoulder to lean on. I just deal with it. That's how I'm built. But that is the reason why I haven't been posting podcasts and long content on my channel. But I'm gonna get back to it. I'm not gonna short y'all. I've always appreciated every single one of you, the ones that know me in real life, the ones that don't. I just appreciate the few of y'all that do listen and maybe get some insight or maybe get nothing, But I will say this, man. We have to hold ourselves accountable for our actions. At some point in our lives, we have to look in the mirror and say, this is on me. This is my fault. And before we make a choice, we have to tell ourselves, can I live with this choice, the good and the bad? We can't just look at a choice we make and just hope that it goes the way we want it to. Because that's not how choices usually work. You make a choice, there's a pro and there's a con. There's always a pro and a con to any choice we make in life. And if we can live with the pros and the cons, then we're more likely to hold ourselves accountable when we make that choice. But if all we thinking about when we make this choice is the good, the positives, and forget about the negatives, well, more than likely after we make that choice, all the negatives, when they happen, we gonna be like, wait a minute, how this ain't on me. This didn't go the way I wanted it to when I made the choice, so it's not my fault. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why we should take more time to think before we make choices. And stop trying to blame others for our choices. Start with ourselves. No one put a gun to our head and told us to make these choices. We make choices in our life on our own, free will. Even in the Bible, God gives you free will. So I'm never gonna be okay with people who make choices. You give them all the pros and the cons of the choice. You tell them, look, if you do this either this can happen or that can happen. In extreme situations, yes, if I turn my light switch on, I expect the light to come on, right? But is it possible that I turn my light switch on and the light don't come on? Is that possible? Yes. So you have to prepare for that. How do I prepare for that? I have extra light bulbs. So that one time when I flip the switch after hundreds of times it don't come on, I can replace the light bulb. And I'm not just sitting there in the dark because, oh, I know when I push the light switch, the light bulb comes on. What about when it don't? And that's what I don't understand. Like, if you're going to make a choice in life, you got to deal with the good and the bad. You have to. And if you can't deal with both, then you probably shouldn't make that choice. You probably should sit back and say, well, this might not be a good idea. You know? That's accountability, man. And as we get older, you would think that we try to make better choices, make, more better choices as we get older, but that's not really the case. You got grown people out here expecting somebody else to pay their bills, to bail them out when they make bad choices. I'm talking about grown people. And if it's a one-time thing, right? A one-time thing, maybe 2 times, okay. When you constantly making bad choices, don't nobody want to be around you. Don't nobody want to be around you. You make bad choice over and over. It doesn't matter what that choice is. You could buy a bad vehicle over and over and over. Why do you keep buying bad vehicles? Or you could buy a good vehicle and not take care of it. And then when it breaks, you scratching your head. Oh my, I don't know what happened. Well, you didn't take care of it. You can find a place to live, knowing you can't afford to live there. Then you wondering why your bill's behind. So what do? Instead of finding ways to make more money to pay your bills, you want to ask other people to help you. And then when they say no, you look at them like they crazy. How dare you not give me money to pay my bills of this place that I chose to move in on my own? Think about that for a second, y'all. There's people out here, real adult people out here, expecting you to fix their problems that they created, not you. They created them. And listen, people that know me, one thing about me, don't ask me for money. Don't do that. Don't do it. You'll get a one-off. A one-off. After that, you might get flamed. You might get flamed. And please don't ask to borrow money from me. Because I know and you know you're not going to pay it back. But everybody know I don't give people money. I will give you the resources for you to be able to get money. I will give you advice, save here, spend less, yada, yada. Or I will tell you, hey, maybe you shouldn't buy that. Maybe you shouldn't do that. But, y'all, you'll be amazed at how many people that make choices that they don't know how to live with. They'll blame it on everything else. Well, you should help more, or more people should help me, or I thought it was going to go this. No. You made a bad choice. Deal with it. Don't try to bring anybody else down or make anybody else feel bad or whatever because of your bad choices. Deal with it. Doesn't that sound simple? But you got people that make bad choices over and over and over and over. And I don't even want to get into the dating thing. That's too easy. Women be dating the wrong men be dating the wrong women, and then they wonder why they miserable, alone, or in a relationship but unhappy. Really? What do you mean why you keep doing the same thing over and over? It's just a different person. But grown people can do whatever they want. And a lot of people don't like talking to me, y'all, because I flame them. You do something stupid, yeah, I'm going to call you stupid. Yep, you do something, I'm going to call you stupid. And people don't want to hear that. They want you to say, oh, it's okay. You did something stupid for the 450th time, but you'll do better next time. No, you won't. No, you won't. What in your history or your track record has shown that you're going to do better than the last 55 times? It's really simple. You date 15 people and the relationships last 6 months, a year and a half, 15 people. Now you meet Mr. 16 or Miss 16. What's going to be different? Oh, well, they do this or they do that. Yeah, but have you thought about this? Maybe the people you dating ain't the problem. Maybe the 15, 16, 17 people you dating ain't the problem. Maybe it's you. Maybe all your baby mamas, maybe they not the problem. Oh, my baby mama suck, or my baby mama this, or my baby mama want all my money, or my baby mama can't let me see my child. Maybe it's not your baby mamas, bruh. Maybe it's you. Maybe you have a type, you know? But if we hold ourselves accountable, right? I guarantee y'all, in one of my other podcasts, I made the comment. I said, if women were the only ones that would be responsible for having a child, right? Like the man signed a piece of paper and said, I don't want to have nothing to do with this child. And the law said, okay, cool. If you had this child, woman, you got to take care of it by yourself. Do y'all think there'll be more abortions? I do. I do. I definitely do. So it's along those lines. You know, if you tell a guy, hey, because this for the women who have deadbeat fathers. Note I said fathers, right? 1, 2, 3 baby daddies, and they all deadbeats. If a man isn't held liable for a child, more than likely he's going to keep making them. I'm not saying that's right, but if a dude out here 14, 15 kids, 22 kids, and he ain't taking care of none of them, what make you think he finna have a kid with you and somehow be a good father? Are you... That's stupid. That is stupid. You're stupid. Okay? Yes, you are stupid. You meet a guy, he got 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 12 baby mamas. I don't like using that word, but kids' mothers. 12, 13, 89 kids, and you get pregnant by them. Somehow in your head, he gonna take care of my kid. He gonna be with me. No, he not. No, he ain't. Who are you? Who are you? You're just another woman. And I don't understand, I swear, the biological or chemical brain makeup to where that makes sense to a woman to have a kid with a man that's got 9, 10, 11, 12 kids. I don't know. I really don't. But in the same breath, guys who complain about not being able to take care of one kid, why would you go out there and have another kid? Like, oh man, I got 2 kids, man, and I can't pay the child support. I'm living check to check. Why would you go and make another kid? Like, you ain't off the hook too, dude. There's so many deadbeat dudes out here. So I got some in my family. I got some relatives, some brothers that's deadbeats. They don't take care of their kids. That is the absolute truth. Now we may tell ourselves in our head we take care of all our kids, right? We may tell but no. Do you even try? Have you tried to take care of your kid? Have you reached out to your kid? Like anything? No. So you dudes ain't off the hook neither. All these kids and kids' mothers, like, if you're gonna go that route, and you gotta remember, I have a lot of kids and a lot of kids' mothers, right? I'm not absolved from this. If you're gonna have a lot of kids, you have to try to take care of the kids. Try. Right? Try. That's all we can do. And sometimes no matter what you do, you're still gonna get bashed, right? You're gonna get bashed like, hey, you just a deadbeat, you don't do this, you unfair, you don't give us enough time. You can't fix that. You cannot fix your children's mother's opinions. Because even if you give them everything they want, it's still gonna be something. And all your kids' mothers ain't gonna be in agreement. Some kids' mothers will say something like, well, I know we have a 2-year-old child, but since you bought your 10-year-old child something that costed $500, you're going to buy our 2-year-old child something that costs $500 too. What the logic? I don't know. So you're not going to win those arguments. So there's no point in even trying. All you can do is what you can control, and just try to be there with your child. Try to establish a relationship with your child, and try to help take care of your child. And the rest, you got to kind of play it by ear. But you got to at least try. We can't be out here making excuses. And so many dudes have kids and make excuses. They do. And that has to stop. Is it going to stop anytime soon? Probably not. But as a man with multiple children, with multiple women, I will tell you this. When you don't make it an option, then it becomes that much easier. I'm not saying, Lord, it's not easy, okay? But if you choose to create life as a man, you already know how it goes. Child support, visitation, custody, all that stuff. But that's what you sign up for when you lay down with these women and have these kids. And if you can't deal with the consequences of that, then maybe wrap it up or keep it in your pants. Real simple. But happy Mother's Day. This isn't a knock on mothers. This is y'all day. I don't want to do anything to take that away from y'all. I just had something that was kind of on my chest. I wanted to get off, like accountability and choices. But as always, man, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for engaging. Please like, share, subscribe. And until the next YouTube video, be easy.